I drink. I don't drink. You can't drink when
And
you.
we are.
It's kind of illegal to drink when you're a gaming bartender because you're in control of all the money, so you just have to be the only sober person on the planet. So anyone who drinks on the job is an idiot. Um, Talk to me, man. What's going on with the Red Sox? And given this, was it Devers $330 million? I mean, how old's the guy? 106?
No, Devers is only in his early 20s.
Wow.
No, he's actually a young guy, and you know what? It was really interesting. The at Fenway Park they had the Bruins play the Penguins in an outdoor rink there, right on Fenway Park. And when John Henry, the owner of the Red Sox, who owns the whole Fenway thing, he owns the Penguins, he owns soccer and all that other stuff. He's probably going to own the Las Vegas basketball team eventually that's going to go into the NBA because he's with LeBron. But he walked into that stadium and he got booed. He got booed really badly. Right after that, Devers signed that contract. So I think they gave him what he wanted. It's going to be an interesting season because Devers deserves, compared to the other ones. I mean, he's a good young player. It's going to be interesting to see if the Red Sox lack of moves going after younger players, maybe not as big, maybe might work out better for them. Maybe they're developing more. I don't know. But, we're going to know probably in the next year or two if it's good or not. So, but yeah, it was real interesting. That was some of the interesting stuff that popped up. And of course, we had a strange week with the NFL. This is one of the strangest weeks in watching and covering the NFL that I've had.
Yeah, wow. Just thank God. Thank God that DeMar Hamlin pulled through this. And first thing the kid says when he gets out of his coma is, "Who won?" That's an athlete, And then the doctor, greatest line ever, the doctor goes, "You won in the game of life." So we could all move past it. I thought it was interesting in the NFL when they voted, all the owners, about figure this out about who gets the home field, because the Bills and the Bengals have both beaten the Chiefs. The Chiefs abstained from the vote. What are they going to think? That they're just going to go? So, I mean, look, everything seemed to work out, and the NFL seems to get it right. And there's a certain amount of melancholy and malaise, which is really a synonym that I go through this time of year, because this is the 18th out of 20 years that I'm not looking at the playoffs next week. Your two favorite teams are in the playoffs next week, no matter what happened. Well, one of them, the Giants, which is a great story. If the Patriots beat the Bills, they're in. If Green Bay beats the Lions, they're in. And so there is drama. But like I said, we got to go over one other thing. That's the big story. Is we've been on since we did a show on Monday. I still can't get over those two great college football playoff games, John. They were phenomenal. And Monday night, who do you like between TCU and Georgia?
I love them both, but I think I'm going to pick Georgia. And the reason why I'm picking Georgia is I think the layoff hurt them. I think the layoff helped TCU. So I think you're going to see Georgia get a little bit more of an upper hand. At the same time, too, I wouldn't be surprised if TCU won. I love what they're doing, and I love their quarterback. But if I had to pick, I'm going to pick Georgia. I'll pick Georgia in a tight one. How about you? What are you thinking?
Yeah. Same thing. I wouldn't be shocked. I love Max Duggan. He's the quarterback of TCU with that big. He looks like he's like someone that would be in a TV show or even the pre-show is 1923 and 1883 of Yellowstone. It's like one of the cowboys. He's grumpy. He's got the red hair. He's always a red face. I mean, he's a throwback to when you and I grew up and watched Billy Kilmer's and the guys that play with broken noses and the single strap for the helmet. So I just hope I hope that game lives up to what the two playoff games were as far as excitement. I'm gonna go back to baseball for a second. Do you think, I'm gonna get a little controversial with you? We all lived through the last 2 years with Deshaun Watson has lived through. We had to live through his trials and tribulations. Trevor Bauer just got released from the Dodgers, and they reinstated the guy. They dropped all the court cases, yet he seems to be a pariah. No one wants to touch this guy. I think someone's going to touch him, don't you? Because what he did, if everything's been dropped criminally and civilly against a guy, who's not going to sign a guy that could actually get you 20 wins. What do you think?
I agree, although there is something going on behind the scenes there that we don't know about him, and maybe his personality or something that's wrong with him. But the Dodgers got to pay the majority of that salary. So anybody who picks him up, yeah, it's like picking up a 20-game winner who's probably pretty well rested, although he may be kind of rusty. And the Dodgers are going to pay. You just got to pay I think you're just paying the MLB minimum salary for him, and then the Dodgers pick up the rest of it. I'm trying to figure out who would do it. I don't see the Red Sox doing it. I don't see the Yankees doing it. If I had to guess, I would guess the Padres. I would think the Padres might be the ones.
Yeah, you got to think, is there always a team? Andy Reid is infamous guy that he's the one who took the risk on taking Michael Vick after he got out of jail for the dog issues that he had after 2 years in jail, and that ended up working out. He's taken guys like Josh Gordon. Is there a team in Major League Baseball that it has to be someone who has a strong manager and a strong organization, which the Chiefs do, because Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame coach, a Belichick. But is there anyone in baseball that's like that? I mean,
Bob Melvin. I think Bob Melvin would be.
Where's what's his face? The manager of Cleveland, really good guy. Like he managed you guys. What the hell's his name again?
Oh yeah,
damn it.
Yeah.
Italian last. Francona. Francona's. I could see Cleveland doing it. I think he pitched there before because Francona's a strong individual. You agree?
I do, but I think he burnt some bridges in Cleveland, and I don't.
Right.
I don't see him going back there. I don't see him going back there. Again, I would. To me, it's the Padres.
When you and I grew up, there was a guy in the Dodgers named Steve Howe. Steve Howe got arrested 5 times for cocaine, and 5 times the Dodgers brought him back. So baseball and sports was a second chance. I think someone's going to maybe there's something else going on, and maybe this thing drags out. But baseball is a long season, and I think All-Star break goes down. If this guy can get everything eradicated, do you see change gears? Do you see something out of the ordinary with the NFL? I'll give you mine first. I wouldn't be shocked. I'm sorry, fans. I have a lot of Green Bay fans that watch the show. I wouldn't be shocked if the Packers lost to the Lions, which is a really good. The Lions are a really good story this year. What do you think?
I think that game could go either way. I think the Packers at home, I'd give them the advantage. On the other hand, they've been winning a lot, and they have to keep winning. I like the Packers defense. That's one of the things, and as long as and Rodgers hasn't been sensational. I mean, he's been good. So I could see the Lions winning it. I could see the Lions winning it big. But if I had to go, I'd go with the Packers. I think it's going to be a great game, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be outdoors. And that's the other thing too. The fact that, the Lions are used to playing indoors now.
Yeah. It's amazing that sometimes indoor teams make that adjustment to go outside and some don't. And it's going to be interesting how that plays out in the playoffs, because there are dome teams. The Vikings now play in the dome, and the Chargers play. Well, the West Coast teams always seem to intrigue me when they go east. But look how well San Francisco's played in Green Bay the last few years. And last year, especially when it was -17, and Garoppolo took them right down the field and beat the Packers. Before you tell everyone who we are, and I'll let you pontificate on that, 5 days from now, we have a really good interview. And this guy we interviewed back in April of 2021, and really helped embellish the show and move us forward. So we get a chance in 5 days to do something special with one of your friends. So tell everyone who we are, or who you are. Everyone knows who I am. I'm the schmuck. Go.
Hey, folks, we are Daily Fish. We are coming to you from Vegas in Myrtle Beach. We talk sports, politics, entertainment, everything in between. We're controversial. We're crazy. Hey, if you got a question or you got a suggestion for us, email us at dailyfish one, the number one, at gmail.com. You can watch us on YouTube, Facebook. We're on Wingding TV. We're also on Hey Vegas TV. You can catch us there on a number of different sites. And then also we're on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon and Apple podcast as well. So you can listen to us. So if you're like, I don't want to see those two old farts, but I listen to them, you can just do it that way. And again, let us know what your feelings are. And here's the other thing too, coming up, Fish teased this, January 12th, Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, Your Honor. He's going to be on with us again. We've had him on before. If you get a chance, we call it Show 13. It was all the way back. It was more than a year ago. We had him on, and he actually mixed a drink for us while he was on the show with us, which was great. And Brian's a great baseball fan too, great baseball and football fan. We're going to definitely ask him about the Dodgers, with the Trevor Bauer thing coming up, and seeing what he thinks about that. And the Dodgers kind of lackluster off season this year, I would say. So I'll ask him about that. And also I'm going to ask him about the Rams. I mean, he's a big Rams fan. And so he's got to talk about that. The fact that, and here's a good question for you, Fish. There's a lot of talk that McVay is going to leave the team and he's going to go possibly into the broadcast booth. He'd be a great broadcaster. I think he's too young to do that now, but that'll be something we'll bring up. But what do you think about that in the Rams? The fact that, they're nowhere near the playoffs this year, horrible year, but they had their Super Bowl. They got their Super Bowl last year. Do you think McVay sticks around?
Yeah. Amazon offered him the Kirk Herbstreit job to sit next to Al Michaels at about $19 million a year. And he said no. Because the ego, when you're a head coach, the ego of doing that job is bigger than sitting in a booth, even though you're sitting with Al Michaels for 17 weeks. But we do have Black Monday. I mean, you just segue into this. We have Black Monday where usually all the coaches that stink at their jobs. And the only guy I can think of right now from the top of my head that could be in trouble is Cliff Kingsbury of the Arizona Cardinals, because that for a season. What are they, 4-11 or 4-12 right now? And Murray getting injured. I don't know. I can't think. Steve Wilkes keeps his job. He's interim coach in Carolina. Lovie Smith in Houston. Isn't it amazing for a team of 32 teams? Every year there's always 6 or 7 openings. It's amazing. There's never been one year where there's no head coaches that everybody keeps their job. There's always a surprise. There'll be a guy that retires, or it's a weird cycle.
Well, it is, but it's, at the same time too, they only have, each team plays 17 games. So somebody's going to have a bad record, and there's going to be some disappointments there. So to me, I kind of get it, because each team's looking, well, like you say, I mean, competitively, at the start of a season, really almost each team has a really good chance of at least making the playoffs, maybe not the Super Bowl, as opposed to when you look at baseball and you kind of go, okay, we know the Kansas City Royals are not going. We know the Arizona Diamondbacks are not going. You won't say that as much in the NFL. So I think that's why you're going to get it, why you get the coaching changes there, because someone's looking to, hey, if we just get that one coach. I mean, look what the Jaguars did this year, getting Doug Peterson. I mean, he's made a big difference.
Right. Well, I'll give you my MVP. My MVP is Pat Mahomes, and my coach of the year is Brian Daboll, the New York Giants. I mean, what he did with the Giants, with Daniel Jones and that team, is remarkable. And then Doug Peterson with Jacksonville, you just mentioned them, turning that whole team around and bringing out the best in Trevor Lawrence. A lot of good stories this year in the NFL. I'll tell you something we're going to do Monday. We're not going to have Hardline with this. He's under the best. But we'll get some of his picks for it. I'm going to ask you, John, I'm going to ask the audience, is a celebrity or athlete's life more important than yours? And I'm leaving it at that. Okay? Because I get that question a lot when I'm at the bar. The great thing I have, the treasure of bartending for 41 years, all these conversations I have, and people look at me because of the podcast, whoever, as some sort of a guru. I don't know shit, but I'll answer your questions because I'm a bartender. I'm there to pontificate with you. So, there's certain things we're going to hit. And I got to ask you something, John, just to change gears a little bit. Because I say this every time. You're our political course, because when you know politics and you covered it and made money covering it. I don't understand this whole process with the Speaker of the House, how How many votes does it take for Kevin McCarthy to get in? Usually, when you
Yeah.
vote for someone, if you don't win, if you don't make it, you don't make it. I want to know how the process works because everyone asked me that at the bar last night, and I had no clue.
Well, simply put, it's the representatives who are voting who's going to be Speaker of the House, and the majority of the time, I mean, this has only happened maybe 3 or 4 times in the history of the United States. It's, if your party has the majority of people in the House, you're going to get together and say, okay, who do we want to hear? Okay, we're going to, and we'll argue amongst ourselves, and then we'll figure out who it is, and we'll put them up. What's happening is because the GOP is so divided, and they've got a very strong ultra right wing. Used to be the old Tea Party, and they wanted concessions. So they said to McCarthy, "Look, we'll vote for you, but we need a lot of concessions on a lot of different things." So for instance, I think 3 of the 10 on the Rules Committee, which is very important for what goes to the floor and what gets voted on. These ultra conservative Republicans are going to have 3 of the 10 seats on there, which should weigh down some different things. It's it was a bit of a it was chaos. I mean, it was a what show for the Republican. I mean, they almost came to fisticuffs. I mean, they actually had to separate a couple of the congressmen. So to me, it was fascinating to watch. At the same time, too, it was a little scary. Is that this is legislation, and this is going to be laws that we need to keep the country going. I don't know what's going to happen. I think you may see people, moderates, kind of saying, let's get together and keep these what we think are far right goofballs away from deciding anything. The one area I'd be concerned about is funding of Ukraine, because I think they could stop that. Because if the House doesn't agree to it, the Senate can't push anything through, and Biden can't push anything through. And I think that's one of the things to me that would be really frightening. The other thing would be is you may see, the pushing of a federal abortion law, which, whether you stand on it or not, I mean, you're taking away people's rights, especially women's rights. So I don't think that would happen, but I think if anything, they would try to do that. I think there's going to be some right-wing causes that they're going to really push hard, that we're going to have to, see how it turns out and see where the majority of people or the majority of Congress people stand.
For the people that come in my bar, let me translate what John just said. What he meant by show was shit show. And then what he meant by goofballs was shitheads. Okay, so he can't say those words because he has a great brand. He played golf this week. His friend Ken Lakin was out, a good friend of the show. If you ever watch The Love Boat, he looks like Captain Steuben, right? So they sent me a text with a picture, and he says, "Yes, I can't do his accent, the biggest Boston accent in the world. This is a chowder head Ken saying, in Vegas, there, fish. Enjoy the Sox this year, and I hope that you have another chowder." Oh my God, John, you and your friends are great. I agree on everything you just said. The bottom line is, I wish it would have come to fisticuffs. Do you ever watch these YouTube moments when you watch other countries, like in China, when they're kicking the shit at each other?
Bolivia does the same thing too. Guess where else they had fisticuffs in the legislature? The state of Texas over sanctuary cities. They almost came to blows. It must have been about 5-6 months ago or something like that. So we have it here in the U.S. It's not that far out of the realm of the possibility of something like that. And when you think about it, they decided on the 2nd year anniversary of January 6th of the uprising. And so that's fascinating. So, we are beginning to see stuff like that.
I have an idea. You're a host of Real TV, you host, you're an MC. Whenever they're going to have these filibusters or all these people get together in a room, Congress, we should have you host and do a steel cage match between the two guys who are going to fight.
Yeah.
All right. And you have Dana White. Dana White could be the guy that produces this whole thing, right? And we call it, what can we call it? We call it, this is John Daly hosting the UFC in Congress. It'd be great. And let these guys just go at it. That would be a great thing. and we can have
Yeah.
hardline do we could hardline do all the odds on it. That'd be great. That'd be great. Oh, imagine that. Imagine some of these old farts
Okay.
putting on
So,
heights and going at it.
see, that'd be great. And so we got to come up with a new UFC. So it would be Fighting Congress. What would the U stand for?
What for you? Underwear. Fighting Congress in underwear. Why
Underwear
not?
Fighting Congress. They have to go in their underwear. I like it.
Fighting
Oh my
Congress
God.
in underwear. You know, that'd be great. I remember when Trump was debating Biden, they couldn't stand each other, and Trump said something, and I'm a kid. And you know what? You could like Biden or not like Biden, but I think Biden, he's gonna piss a lot of people off. I think wasn't he a boxer at one time?
I think in his earlier days, he might have, yeah.
I wouldn't want to. Those two guys fighting would be great. You know, Trump would hire someone to do it for him and put his hair on, and Biden would and forget who he's hitting. So it'd be, so
I mean,
funny as
there,
all fuck.
it's really funny. You bring that up is that I see so many things that if Biden makes a gaffe while speaking, they go absolutely nuts. I mean, the right wing goes absolutely nuts on him. And granted, yeah, he does say something, but hey, I couldn't remember Terry Francona just a few seconds ago, and and I'm a Red Sox fan, and he brought us, the 2004 World Series.
Oh, we all forget. We all forget shit. Everyone
Yeah.
forgets shit. They look, it's up there. It's all there. It's so divided. You look for everything. I mean, there were people when this poor kid, Damar Hamlin, goes down. I saw. You texted me. I said, "Are you kidding me? People are blaming the vaccinations on this thing. Now, whether you're a vaccination or not, I go, come on. You have to make everything political and divided. All right. What happened to that kid was he tackled a guy and it hit him in the exact point of the heart, which happens in baseball, believe it or not. I did some research on that a lot. And it got the electricity rhythm of his heart out of whack. And he basically had one of the cardiac arrest, had a heart attack. And thank God for the staff, the Bills staff and the Bengals, just brilliant and this kid's now going to have a normal life. And even these idiots walking the ball, not an idiot, my customers say, you think he can play for the Bills again in the playoffs? No, he's not playing for the Bills in the playoffs. All right. Thank God he had life back. And, but the vaccination causes, are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
did you hear that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. And I saw a number, and I posted a number of different things with fact checks. As you'll see on a lot of my stuff, I'll go get fact checks and put it on what people are writing. No, you're absolutely right. And I do think, well, there's a couple of things to not jump at. One, about the vaccinations, you don't know that. You can't tie that in because there's been no scientific research on it. And the scientific research that has been done would not make any claim to that happening. The other thing is that, when you talk to different doctors, and I think I heard one of the doctors from the University of Cincinnati who was taking care of him, and he was asked, do you think he'll play again? And the doctor goes, I don't want to even go there because I don't know. We have to see what his condition is. The question is, would he ever play football again? I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows that because we don't know what the condition is.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's alive.
Correct. And that's one of the great things that I think the NFL, the players and the coaches did as far as coming together, because it was a tough week for them. But I think one of the things it really did was, I think we need to, and you just kind of touched on this, we need to have those machines all over the place. They need to be at Little League games. They need to be in airports. They need to be in different places. What's fascinating is the fact that if you wanted to get trained in that, you could, but you have to pay $30. But to me, it's like, you could get trained. Why couldn't you train people and just, if I'm an insurance company, I'm going to train everybody I can to do that so that you can save some lives. So I don't have to pay out, insurance death costs. And I think one of the fascinating things is that the more I began to research what it was that affected him, it really affects more younger people. So like you were talking about before, there's been kids in Little League who have had line drives off their chest and had that happen to them. And for the most part, if you and I caught something off the chest, it might not affect us because we're older and the fat and the substance on our chest walls are bigger and deeper. he was only 24 years old. Kids who are in little league just don't have the big fat. They don't drink and eat as heavily as you and I do. And so we need that around the country. All malls should have it. All planes should have that. And I think that's one of the things that came out of Damar Hamlin's horrible experience, is that I think we're going to wake up to the fact that we need this and stop charging people to go and learn how to do this so that we can have it, so everybody has it. And so I think there's some really good things coming out of this. And
Right.
let me segue into another thing that I've wanted to raise with you. Do you think this week it's a totally different mindset, and it wasn't just, the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati, it was the entire league was going through this. Do you think now that he's talking and they've kind of said, okay, this is a rare thing that could happen, that it's going to affect the games tomorrow? Like, I wouldn't know how to bet on the games tomorrow, or even some of the games today. Can you get into the heads of any of these players? Do you think, they're going to be still thinking that, or are they going to be talking about
You're
the down and out?
No, down and outs. They're 25-year-old kids. Don't think like we do in our 60s, that we have wisdom. These are 25-year-old kids that have a warrior mentality, been playing this whole game. The fact that he's fine, there's thousands of hits in the NFL all year, so they're right back into the game set, and it's all about the M's, money and memories. You can if you can't get your head in, you're not going to be making the money. But I know we're going to get out of here in a second. I want to do this. I watched a movie on HBO Max 2 days ago. Today's Saturday, called The Menu. Have you heard about that movie, The Menu?
I haven't.
Ray Fine, Nicholas Holt.
Oh, yes.
Up for Academy Award.
Yes.
One Academy Award. And the girl, I can't, I'm sorry, honey, I can't say the word broad. The girl that won the Emmy for Queen's Gambit. It's about this restaurant that's on an island, and you pay $1,500 or something for a plate, and you go there, and Ray Fine is the head chef. That's all I'll say. It's a horror movie.
Yep.
It's insane. It's insane.
I saw the previews of that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about more on Monday. I did binge watch a show on Hulu called Fleischman's in Trouble. Phenomenal. Ooh. Jesse Eisenberg. Fleischman's in Trouble. It's not about the butter. It's about a kid that's going through divorce with Claire Danes, and it goes to their relationships. And you think, okay, this is a yuppie type thing? No, it's intense, and it's funny. It's intense, and if I watch 8 episodes of something in 2 days, there's 2 reasons. One, there's a lot of sex in it, and 2, it's intriguing. So, you watching anything before we get out of here?
No, because we had guests this weekend, so I didn't get a chance to, and I still got to finish up. And we talked about this with Hardline last week of the Jack Ryan. My wife wants to go back to the Emily in Paris. I want to see the next season of Cranston's Your Honor. I want to see that again too. So I'm kind of getting ready for that. But I got to tell you, I mean, just the ones you were just talking about here, man, I got to put them on the list as well.
Oh, it's always something. Isn't it amazing? When we grew up, we got so excited to get HBO and Showtime. Now there's a thing, Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, Paramount Plus, HBO Max. You could just find something in a genre you like and you're in. So there's always something coming out. And I'm an apocalyptic guy. You're a Debbie Downer. You think the world's coming to an end. I like the shows about movies. There's a thing called The End of Us. It's coming out on I think on HBO, starting January 15th. Crazy. Check this out. Amazon. We when you did our binge watch segment on the old format, there's like called Hunters with Al Pacino. The next season comes out in about 2 weeks on Amazon.
Oh.
Huge. So there's always something. There's always something coming out. That always something to watch. And today, look, this is the last Raider game of the season. We got a Raider game in about 5 hours. Then it's nothing. I got 9 months of no football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I think the Raiders they got something to play for today. Certainly not the playoffs, but I think they've got something to play for. I think with Stidham in there at quarterback, I think this is going to be really interesting. And who knows? The Chiefs may be a little off kilter with everything that happened this past week. You don't know.
So you watched the game on Sunday. I was there, but I saw they kept showing. Did you watch the entire game, right?
I didn't see the entire game. I saw portions of it.
Okay. Well, they kept going. They kept showing Stidham's her own booth in the stadium, and she's drop dead gorgeous. She's a model, right? And all her friends are with her, and it looked like 4 Super 10 models, right? And someone writes into the show, "Why wasn't Mark Davis in that booth?"
Actually,
So
that should be
great.
a
No,
show.
it's a lot of fun.
The show right there.
Yeah. Right. All right, buddy. We got a big week coming up. We got show. We got Cranston. Take us out.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Daily Fish. You can get us live on Mondays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m., I should say, Pacific. And again, we come from Vegas and Myrtle Beach. We cover sports, politics, entertainment, everything in between. You can get us on Facebook, YouTube. We are on Wingding TV. We're on Hey Vegas TV. We're also on podcasts, so you don't have to stare at us. We're on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts as well. Just check us out and send us notes. Let us know. Email us at dailyfish, the number 1, dailyfish1@gmail.com. And we will be catching you soon. And Fish, I'm excited about seeing the game, seeing what's going to happen today. I'm really curious. And so I'll be watching that and then looking forward to chatting with you on Friday. I'm sorry, on Monday. Yesterday was Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all okay. Well, let's enjoy the last weekend of the season. Shout outs, I was Daily. If you had a birthday for someone, we'll shout it out for you. We have a lot of people that tell me their birthday, and I don't go on, but we'll say happy birthday to you on air. And we're trying like hell to fix the technical difficulties. It's on my end. It's not Daily. We have some buffering issues. I have Cox out here. I mean, I have more guys in my house. It looks like the scene in E.T. when all the technicians came in to the house of the extraterrestrial. So we'll get that all figured out. And let's have a healthy and happy 2023. Your health is your wealth, Daly.
Absolutely, big boy. Appreciate it. Love you. Take care.
You too.